Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin our conversation. The floor is open. Start from here. Huma.
Sir, I have two questions. My name is Huma Siddiqui and I'm from Stat News Global. Whether India has asked US for a special waiver for getting Russian LNG. And my second question is, will the foreign ministers of Quad meet in New Delhi next month?
Meet when? Ishi?
This is Yeshi Seli from Business India. My question is on Indian peacekeepers in Lebanon. The exact numbers that are there, and I know that there's been a statement issued where India has urged that their safety becomes a priority, but 3 peacekeepers from Indonesia are already dead. So what's the reason that they are there? Because this is an all-in-out war. How do you ensure that they stay protected? And my second question is this oil, the ships that are coming from Strait of Hormuz, are we paying any toll on the ships that are being released, or are they just coming gratis?
Ishi?
So this is Ayush Agarwal from ANI. I have a question related to the upcoming BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting. We are expecting it to take place next month. Has India sent invitation to all the members, and if you can let us know how many countries have confirmed so far? Thank you so much.
Siddhant?
Hi, so I'm Siddhant from Vion. When it comes to the neighborhood, we are providing support in terms of fuel to countries like Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. If you can perhaps give an overview. And my second question is, the Japanese Foreign Ministry has opened a special unit in their department for India economic relationship, to firm up economic relationship with India, which is a very novel way of dealing with a bilateral relationship. How does India sees that?
Keshav?
Thank you, spokesperson. Keshav Padmanabhan here from the print. My first question is with regards to Azerbaijan. Yesterday, the Indian ambassador met with the foreign minister of Azerbaijan, and in the past ties, especially during Op Sindhu, there have been statements back and forth. So just wanted to understand here what was specifically discussed, what is going to move forward. Have you agreed to the political office consultations that came out in the Azeri readout? And secondly, just wanted to add, we're now in the month of April. The US had given a waiver for Chabahar till the end of April. What is sort of the status? Have there been discussions on extending this further? Can you just give us a sense, because we're now on the 2nd of April and it should end on the 26th. Thank you.
Okay, so first, Huma, to your question. We have seen some speculation on this matter. These reports are ill-informed when it comes to the facts of this particular matter. So, these are speculation, and we would caution against such reports. On Quad Foreign Ministers meeting, you said next month. We are still some distance away. We'll keep you informed well in time as to what we have, what we are planning, so on and so forth. Yeshi, we'll be organizing a series of meetings going into our presidency. We'll keep you updated with the foreign ministers level meeting, as also other tracks in which we'll have ministerial interaction. Siddhant, on neighborhood, on Bangladesh, as you would have seen, we continue to supply energy requirements to them since 2007, as per the commercial engagement that we have with them. We've also recently supplied fuel to Sri Lanka, 38,000 metric tons of petroleum products, based on their request. Also, we have ongoing engagement with Nepal and Bhutan, which continue. So, as also we have some request for supply, not request exactly, but the government of Maldives has also reached out to us for supply of petroleum products, both on short-term and long-term basis. These requests are, the Maldives request, it's being examined, keeping in mind our own availability, on own needs. We also remain engaged with the governments of Mauritius and Seychelles on the energy situation in these two countries. We have not received any request for them as yet. So that is how the situation is in a neighborhood. On Japan, giving a focus to India-Japan economic partnership, this is a welcome move. Our economic partnership is one of the strongest pillars of India-Japan cooperation, and we want to strengthen it further. We have a large number of Japanese companies who are active here in India in the manufacturing space, in the innovation space, and we want this number to continue further. We also have a large presence of Indian companies, services, on service side, on the IT side, on the tech side, and in several other fields in Japan, and we want to strengthen our joint work together. On Azerbaijan, question from Keshav. Azerbaijan, we have our ambassador there. He recently presented credentials. During the presentation of his credentials, he also discussed several issues of bilateral nature. As you know, several of our Indian nationals, 204 to be precise, have been able to leave Iran for Azerbaijan through the land border, and from there they'll be coming back home. Several of them have returned. Others will be returning in the course of next few days or so. We are thankful to the government of Azerbaijan for the support that they've rendered for the exit of Indian nationals from Iran through the land border. We have consultations and regular exchange between both sides, and hopefully we'll have more details or more developments on this account for you. There was a question regarding Chabahar. So our position remains the same, what I had conveyed earlier. This particular issue, sanctions waiver that was given to us, is valid till 26th April 2026. The Government of India remains engaged with all concerned in order to address the implications of these developments. Take a question there.
Good evening, Alexander. I'm with the Russian media. First Deputy Prime Minister of the Russian government, Mr. Manturov, is visiting New Delhi, as well as high-ranking Russian Member of Parliament, Mr. Yakushev. Could you please give us an update on the interactions that they have with their Indian counterpart? Thank you.
Jessica?
Hi, sir. This is Jessica for Doordarshan. Bahrain has proposed a resolution in the UNSC calling for unimpeded transit through the Strait of Hormuz, which also includes the multinational naval partnership to secure the area. What is India's outlook to the proposed resolution?
Abhimanyu?
Sir, this is Abhimanyu Sharma from CNBC TV 18. Sir, are the news reports true that tankers are being allowed to flow through the Strait of Hormuz, subject to the payment made in yuan?
Vishal?
सर मैं विशाल पांडे हूँ एबीपी न्यूज़ से। एक महीने से ज़्यादा वक्त बीत चुका है इस युद्ध का। जो युद्धग्रस्त देश हैं वहाँ पर भारतीयों की स्थिति कैसी है और कितने भारतीयों की मौत इस युद्ध के दौरान हुई है? और इसके साथ ही साथ राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप ने आज कहा है कि होर्मुज की जो खाड़ी है वहाँ पर उन देशों को खुलवाने पर विचार करना चाहिए जो वहाँ से तेल लेते हैं। अमेरिका का कोई लेना देना नहीं। इस पर भारत की क्या प्रतिक्रिया है?
नीरज?
सर, नीरज, न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया से। आईसीटी को शेख हसीना की तरफ से पत्र लिखा गया है जो उनके खिलाफ सजा दी गई है, उस सजा को हटाने के लिए, और फैसले को गैर कानूनी बताया गया। भारत सरकार का क्या पक्ष है इस पे?
Okay, so first, Alexander, coming to your question, we have the first Deputy Prime Minister of the Russian Federation, His Excellency Mr. Denis Manturov in Delhi. He arrived today and he'll be there till tomorrow. He has several meetings lined up. We will keep you informed of those meetings. This visit is a bilateral visit for consultations to follow up on the annual summit that we had recently. At the same time, we also have the first deputy chairperson of the Federation Council of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, His Excellency Vladimir Yakushev. He's also in the city. He called on the Speaker of Lok Sabha a little while ago at Parliament House, and they exchanged as to how we can strengthen our parliament-to-parliament links. It looks very well for a relationship which is deep-rooted and time-tested in terms of its strategic content. So more on these as we go into the evening. We'll get more details and also a press release for you giving the details of the meetings that First Deputy Prime Minister will be having with dignitaries here in India. Jessica, your question was regarding the Bahraini resolution. This particular resolution is under consideration in the UN Security Council. We are aware of the resolution. We also know that relevant parties, which means the members of the Security Council, are currently negotiating this particular text. As far as India is concerned, you very well know that what we stand for. We stand for free and open commercial shipping and for maritime security in keeping with international law. We continue to call for ensuring safe and free navigation through the Strait of Hormuz as a matter of priority. And also we are closely following all developments in regard to this West Asian conflict. So that is how we look at the Bahraini resolution. I given to understand that it may come up for discussion or consideration today or tomorrow. Abhimanyu, your question again. I answered that question that there has been no discussion between India and Iran on the question of payment. विशाल, खाड़ी के देशों में, GCC के देशों में करीबन 1 करोड़ यानी कि 10 मिलियन भारतीय नागरिक वहाँ रहते हैं. सभी सुरक्षित हैं. हमारी दूतावास सभी देशों में उनसे लगातार संपर्क में है, उनसे बातचीत होती रहती है ताकि जो भी उनकी समस्याएं हो, जिस प्रकार का उनको ज़रूरत हो, उसको हम लोग पूरा कर सकें. खेद ये है कि इस युद्ध में अभी तक 8 भारतीय नागरिक हताहत हुए हैं और 1 अभी भी उनको गायब या मिसिंग बताया जा रहा है. तो ये है मोटा मोटा आकलन हमारे भारतीय नागरिकों के बारे में. लेकिन साथ ही साथ मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि हम लोग तत्पर हैं यहाँ पर विदेश मंत्रालय में, हमारे शिपिंग मंत्रालय, जहाज मंत्रालय और जितने हमारे भारतीय दूतावास वहाँ पर हैं, हमारे नागरिकों के सुरक्षा के लिए और उनके हित के लिए. जहाँ हॉर्मुज़ की खाड़ी की बात आपने कही, देखिए जितनी भी गतिविधियाँ हैं खाड़ी को लेके, इस युद्ध को लेके, इस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट को लेके और हॉर्मुज़ को लेके, उस पर हम अपनी इस सारी गतिविधियाँ पर अपना नज़र बनाए हुए हैं. नीरज, आपका सवाल था कि अभी जो भूतपूर्व प्रधानमंत्री बांग्लादेश के हैं, उन्होंने कुछ चिट्ठी लिखा है. तो इस चिट्ठी पर हमारा कोई टिप्पणी नहीं है मेरे पास कुछ करने के लिए. कादम्बरी एंड देन
कादम्बिनी शर्मा, इंडिपेंडेंट जर्नलिस्ट. सर, कल यूके के पीएम ने एक बयान दिया है, उसमें उन्होंने ये भी कहा है कि 35 देशों का एक कोalition बनाकर उसमें अगले हफ्ते स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज़ से फ्रीडम ऑफ नेविगेशन और मैरीटाइम सिक्योरिटी पर वो बात करेंगे. तो क्या भारत इसका हिस्सा होगा?
विनीता.
This is Vinita Pandey from the Asian Age Deccan Chronicle. Roughly 10 foreign flagged vessels and 18 Indian flagged vessels carrying crude oil and LPG are stranded in the Persian Gulf. Is the Indian government in talk with the Iranian government and other nations for quick or to expedite the movement of the ships to India?
Vasti.
This is Hasini Heather from The Hindu. In addition to Kadambari's question, about the idea that there is this 35 nation grouping that the UK Prime Minister is going to host virtually. There's also, we have seen a process with Pakistan, Egypt, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan and China have 5 initiatives. The Gulf as well is apparently looking at ways of circumventing the Hormuz Straits through pipelines. I just wanted to get a broader sense of, is India involved in any multinational, any kind of peace initiatives when it comes to the war in West Asia? And another is just a follow-up. I saw your statement on UNIFIL and condemning all the attacks on UNIFIL peacekeepers. I wondered, has India raised this directly with Israel? Because it is the IDF that is targeting the peacekeepers. And Israel has publicly announced that it intends to occupy parts of South Lebanon now, this side of the Litani River. This is all part of the UNIFIL's mandate and is going to make it even more dangerous for Indian peacekeepers over there.
नीरज
सर नमस्कार, मैं नीरज दुबे प्रभा साक्षी से। सर चीन और भूटान ने सीमा मुद्दों को सुलझाने के लिए बातचीत की है। 15 एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप मीटिंग के बाद बयान भी दोनों पक्षों की ओर से जारी हुए हैं, उस पर क्या प्रतिक्रिया है?
Ansha.
This is Anangsha Manchu. Sir, what are expected to be on table during the maiden visit of Bangladesh Foreign Minister Khalilur Rahman?
Raghavendra.
This is Raghavendra Varma from ZDF German television. So Defense Minister Rajnath Singh made a statement today regarding a possible misadventure by a neighbor. So is there anything specific, something to worry that in the current situation from Pakistan or any other neighbor there could be disturbance for peace on border or something?
Alish.
So our Defense Minister Rajnath Singh has also said, along with this Pakistan issue, that Indian Navy is escorting the ships through Gulf, through Strait of Hormuz. Can you please elaborate, sir, how many ships are being escorted by Indian Navy, and who are the nations they are helping Indian Navy, or what is the current situation of the first?
So Kadambini, first to your question, the UK side has invited several countries, which also includes India, for talks on the Strait of Hormuz. From our side, Foreign Secretary is attending the meeting this evening. It may have started or it will be starting shortly. Vinita, your questions, we are in touch with Iran and other countries there to see how best we can get unimpeded transit and safe transit for our ships which are carrying products including LPG, LNG and other products. Through this conversation that we've had over the last several days, we've had 6 Indian ships which have been able to safely cross Hormuz, and we continue to be in touch with relevant parties on this matter. Swasni, yes, UK, I just said the Foreign Secretary is attending the meeting. I don't know the number of countries who are attending it. Perhaps post-meeting we'll get a sense of how many countries have joined, but Foreign Secretary will be or is participating in this conversation. As far as all the conversations that are happening, we are following all the developments that are linked to this particular conflict. And several conversations are actually happening on this particular subject, and we're keeping track of all those. On your question regarding UNIFIL, these are matters that the United Nations is looking into for the time being. We are in constant touch with relevant agencies in the United Nations as to how best we can address these issues. So that is where we are. Neeraj, भारत और आपने भूटान की बात की, भूटान और चीन के बीच में या कोई अन्य देश के बीच में, हमारे पड़ोसियों के बीच में जब बातचीत होती है तो हम लोग उसको उन सारी गतिविधियों को अपने नज़र में रखते हैं, और जिस प्रकार का कोई अगर उठाना होगा कदम तो उसको हम लोग उचित कदम उठाते हैं. Ayangsha, Bangladesh Foreign Minister, as I told you last time also, once the visit is announced, we'll keep you informed of the visit, the agenda, and also share more details of this, of the bilateral visit. Raghavendra, I mean, Defense Minister of India has spoken, so I did not, elaborate anything more. He has spoken, he has on this particular matter. Salesh, to your question, Indian ships, I understand that as part of Operation Sankalp, which has been going on since 2019, if my memory serves me right, they are there in that area of Arabian Sea, Gulf of Aden, to secure shipping lines, which is in our interest, as also interest of several of our partners. They have been there to provide and secure maritime commerce. So, and they have also been supporting ships that are passing from that area. So that is where we are. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start our conversation. We begin. The floor is open. Yeshi?
This is Yeshi Seli from Business India. How many ships have come from the state of Hormuz right now? How many are expected? Also, has India sought any clearance from the US? There are reports that suggest to import LPG from or LNG from Russia.
Siddhant?
Hi sir, Siddhant from Beyond. We have seen an interesting tweet by the Bangladeshi Prime Minister Tariq Rahman marking the Genocide Day, calling out Pakistan. We've also seen the Pakistani reaction saying that 1971 is open to different interpretation. What's India's stance, given the fact that India played an important role in the liberation war?
Uma?
उमा शक्कर सिंह, इंडिपेंडेंट जर्नलिस्ट. ईरान के विदेश मंत्री की तरफ से एक बयान आया है कि भारत समेत 4 देशों जो कि दोस्त देश हैं उनके जहाज़ों को जाने की मंजूरी हमने दे दी है. तो क्या जो फारस की खाड़ी में अभी 20 जहाज़ बताए जा रहे हैं, क्या वो वहाँ से चले हैं, और चले हैं तो कब तक भारत पहुँचेंगे?
प्रकाश.
सर, ब्रह्म प्रकाश दुबे जी न्यूज़ से क्या ये जानकारी दे सकते हैं, क्या रूस से भी जो है कच्चा तेल और क्रूड ऑयल और एलपीजी आ रही है, और इसके अलावा क्या ईरान ने जिस तरह से बयान दिया है तो ईरान के साथ क्या स्थिति है, क्या वहाँ से भी एलपीजी और क्रूड ऑयल अपलोड हो रहा है? थैंक
यू. ऋषभ.
Good evening, this is Rishabh from Times Now. Sir, there are reports which suggest that at the all-party meeting earlier this week, there was a term used for Pakistan, Dalal, by External Affairs Minister. If you can shed some light on that.
Okay, so first, Yeshi, to your question, we have kept you informed of the ships, the Indian ships which have so far crossed the Strait of Hormuz. We've had 4 ships. They were laden with LPG. They have arrived in India. They safely crossed the Strait of Hormuz few days back. We continue to be in touch with all concerned countries for the safe transit of our ships to meet our energy requirements. As far as, there are several questions as to from where we are buying our energy requirements. On that, you are well aware of a broad approach to sourcing our energy needs. It is based on our imperative to secure the needs of our people, 1.4 billion people. 2, what are the dynamics in the market? And 3, what is the global situation all? So these 3 issues or conditions are vital for us to take our decisions in regard to sourcing, and it continues to be the case. As far as specific issues where we are buying our oil from X country, Y country, on those I think it's better that you take your question to the Ministry of Petroleum because they'll be in a better position to answer. Siddhant, your question on the tweet that you mentioned. We are all aware of the terrible atrocities that was committed by Pakistan during Operation Searchlight in 1971. The genocide involved systematic and targeted killing of millions of Bangladeshi people, innocent people, and mass sexual violence against women. It also forced millions of Bangladeshi people out of their country. They came to India as refugees. These atrocities, needless to say, it shook the conscience of the world at large. Pakistan, however, remains in denial to this very day of its crimes. We support Bangladesh in its desire for justice. 1971 पे जो ऑपरेशन सर्चलाइट पाकिस्तान द्वारा उस समय जो चलाया गया था उसमें किस प्रकार का वहाँ पर बांग्लादेश में नरसंहार हुआ उसके बारे में सभी लोग अवगत हैं। इस नरसंहार में एक सुयोजित तरीके से लाखों लोगों की जानें गईं, उनको मारा गया, उनके मौत के घाट से उतारा गया। उसके अलावा औरतों के साथ और जिनको वहाँ वीरांगना कहा जाता है उनके ख़िलाफ़ अलग अलग तरीके के वायलेंस हुए, क्राइम्स हुए और साथ ही साथ जो कि एक प्रकार का दहशत था उस समय उस देश में। लाखों लोग अपने देश छोड़कर, बांग्लादेशी नागरिक छोड़कर हमारे यहाँ आए शरणार्थी के रूप में। इससे पूरा दुनिया का अंतरात्मा में बहुत एक झकझोर दिया और अभी तक इन सभी क्राइम्स को लेके, वायलेंस को लेके, नरसंहार को लेके पाकिस्तान एक डिनायल मोड में रहता है। हमारी तरफ से हम बांग्लादेश को सपोर्ट करते हैं कि उनकी जो ये न्याय मांगने की और न्याय मिलने की जो उनकी चाह है उसके लिए। ईरान के बारे में उमाशंकर जैसे मैंने बताया कि 4 जहाज़ हमारे वहाँ से आ चुके हैं और हम कई सारे देशों के साथ, खाड़ी के देशों के साथ बात कर रहे हैं ताकि और भी जो हमारे जहाज़ है वहाँ से वो स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज से पार करके सुरक्षित भारत आए। तो अभी तक तो यही है, इसके आगे मेरे पास विशेष कुछ कहने को नहीं है। ब्रह्मप्रकाश जी, आपका सवाल भी वही था। देखिए, जहाँ तक ऊर्जा सोर्सिंग का सवाल है, हमारा जो हमारा सोच है, हमारा अप्रोच है, उसके बारे में मैंने आपको बताया अभी। तो बाकी विशेष की हमारे तेल कहाँ से आ रहा है, किन किन देशों से आ रहा है, इसके बाद मेरे पास विशेष जानकारी नहीं है। इस विशेष जानकारी के लिए आपको जो पेट्रोलियम मंत्रालय है, तेल मंत्रालय, उनके पास जाना पड़ेगा। ऋषभ, टू योर क्वेश्चन, as you are aware, there was an all-party meeting which was held in Delhi on the ongoing conflict in West Asia. It was, let me underline, this was a closed-door meeting, and therefore I have no comments to make. But as regards Pakistan's long-standing approach to global conflicts and tensions, you may care to listen to criticisms by Defence Minister Khwaja Asif, Member of National Assembly Bilawal Bhutto, and former PM Imran Khan. Yeah, Suhasini.
Suhasini Haider from The Hindu. EM is in, EM Dr. Jaishankar is in France for the G7 meeting. I wanted to know, firstly, if in the Committee on Sovereignty, I think he has spoken in the cross-cutting session, he's spoken about sovereignty. Was there a particular mention of the US and Israel strikes on February 28th that began this war? And second, I did want to ask that South Africa has been disinvited now as one of the outreach members, the special invitees from the G7. We also understand South Africa will not be invited to the G20 in the US. Has India in any way protested the keeping out of South Africa, a country that India shares many multilateral fora, from BRICS to IPSA and others as well?
Ayushi?
So this is Ayush Agarwal from ANI. Are we expecting a meeting between our External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar and his American counterpart Marco Rubio on the sidelines of the G7 foreign ministers meeting in France?
Kadambini?
कादम्बिनी शर्मा, इंडिपेंडेंट जर्नलिस्ट। सर, फ्रेंच रीड आउट जो है विदेश मंत्री की बैठक के बाद जो आया है, उसमें कहा गया है कि भारत और फ्रांस दोनों कोऑर्डिनेट कर रहे हैं स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मोज पर सिक्योरिटी को लेकर। इस पर कुछ और अगर आप जानकारी दे पाएँ।
Akhilesh?
Sir, I am Akhilesh, someone from DD News. State of Hormuz, whose property is the State of Hormuz? What is its legal situation? And can any country, even if it passes a resolution in its parliament, can it be the sovereign right of that country?
Keshav?
So, thank you. Keshav Padmanabhan from The Print. My first question is on the Strait of Hormuz. There are reports emerging that the United Arab Emirates is pushing for some sort of international coalition to, open up the Strait of Hormuz. I wanted to check whether the Emiratis have reached out to India at any point during the conversations, multiple conversations had between the two senior leadership. And a second question again on Iran. So, the Iranian embassy here in New Delhi has been collecting humanitarian funds from Indians to bank accounts here located in India. Just has there been any conversation on how they're going to repatriate these funds back home? Is that something that the MEA is in touch with the Iranians on this? Thank you.
So, Suhasini, first, yes, our External Affairs Minister is in Paris for G7 foreign ministers meeting. He, on the sidelines, he's already had meetings with several foreign ministers, his counterparts, including France, Germany, South Korea, Japan, Brazil. Even as we speak, these engagements continue there because today is also a working day. He spoke at two sessions. One was on global governance, where he talked about the imperative of Security Council reforms. Also the question of streamlining peacekeeping operations and strengthening humanitarian supply chains. He also apprised the gathering of India's concerns, of the concerns of Global South countries on food, fuel and fertilizer. We all see the kind of impact that the conflict is having on these issues across the world. In the second meeting, he also participated in a session where he focused on connectivity and IMEC. And there again, he talked about the uncertainties arising from the conflicts in West Asia and why it is important that we should have more resilient trade corridors and supply chains. In the context of IMEC, he also talked about the FTAs we've signed with UK and EU, as also with EFTA countries, and how they become important, and in that regard, how important the IMEC corridor itself is. Now, on the question of which country, India is an outreach country which was invited by the host to participate in the G7 meeting. It is for the host to decide whom they want to know, whom they want to call for those meetings. I guess there's some reports on that, so I would refer you to look at them. As far as G20 is concerned, this time United States is the chair of G20, and we look forward to participating in G20 summit, which will happen later this year. involving all G20 countries. Aishi, on several meetings have happened. I'm not aware of this particular meeting, whether it has happened or will be happening soon. But I guess it's still midday in Paris, so some of these meetings could still happen. Kadambini, on your question, see, there are several efforts that we've seen, reports about countries talking about coalition and as to what should be done to strengthen the transit of ships from Straits of Hormuz. In several forums, in several places, there are these initiatives which are being discussed. We are aware of them. We are closely following the matter, as also developments in the West Asia, ongoing conflict in West Asia. And our point of view is that we continue to call for ensuring safe and free navigation through the Strait of Hormuz as a matter of priority. Strait of Hormuz, while you asked me a technical question, I may be off, but just to let you know that what I understand, the Strait of Hormuz is categorized as international waters and international law applies there. But there are discussions happening in relevant bodies, including the International Maritime Organization, on some of these matters. Keshav, again, Strait of Hormuz, there's a lot of discussions happening in various platforms and forums as to what can be done to strengthen safety of navigation through Strait of Hormuz. I just told you that we are closely following this matter, as also the ongoing conflict, and our point of view is that we should have safe and free navigation through Strait of Hormuz, so that the problems that we have on energy security, not just for ourselves but for the world at large, can be addressed. Your second question was regarding humanitarian funds. Look, embassies abroad or embassies here in India, they are not prohibited from accepting donations. Now, once those donations have been accepted, I guess the relevant embassy will see as to what it wants to do, how it wants to do to utilize those donations. Reza
from the Hindustan Times. There have been several reports of senior Shia leaders in Pakistan being very critical of the Pakistan Army Chief for certain remarks he made at a meeting with Shia clerics, where he said that anyone who is sympathetic to Iran should go to Iran. I was wondering if you have any views on that.
Neeraj?
सर, नीरज न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया से। हमारा सवाल है कि बांग्लादेश के उच्चायुक्त रियाज हमीदुल्लाह ने न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया से खास बातचीत में कहा है कि सुरक्षा से जुड़े मसले पर बांग्लादेश कोई ऐसा कदम नहीं उठाएगा जो भारत के खिलाफ हो। भारत और बांग्लादेश संबंधों पर इस बयान को आप कैसे देखेंगे?
मेगा?
Good evening, sir. I'm Megha from NewsX. My first question, it is being reported that the Vice President of US, J.D. Vance, is reportedly going to be arriving in Pakistan for possible peace talks. Is it acceptable to India that that Pakistan hosts these as a mediator, these peace talks? And the second question about an Indian national that has died in Abu Dhabi yesterday. Is his mortal remains going to be brought back to India? And is there any operation that India is going to start for the evacuation of Indians in all these Gulf nations that are being targeted by Iran?
Enjoy.
Sir, there have been media reports that President Trump and General Munir had a conversation a few days ago. What do we know about it?
Raghavendra?
This is Raghavendra Varma from ZDF German television. This is regarding fertilizer. So there are reports that India has sought to import urea from China. Can you confirm that? Is it just a trade aspect of the relations, or there's something strategic involved? Would China consider something else? Is it easy to import fertilizers from China?
Agni.
So Agni from ABP. It's been reported that Bangladesh's new Foreign Minister Khalilur Rahman will be visiting Delhi next month. Can you please confirm that? And if he comes, what's the agenda of this travel?
Okay. So first, Reza, to your question, yes, we have seen the report that you're talking about. Such comments are not isolated incidents, but are part of Pakistan's systemic victimization of its minorities, including the Shia minority in that country. The shrinking numbers of minorities in Pakistan over several decades reflect the kind of fear, persecution, oppression and neglect that they have had to endure at the hands of the Pakistani state. I need not elaborate on the abysmal record of Pakistan when it comes to protection of human rights of its minorities, which is also very well documented. नीरज, बांग्लादेश के उच्चायुक्त के बयान के बारे में, देखिए, बांग्लादेश में एक नई सरकार आई है. इस सरकार के शपथ ग्रहण में हमारे स्पीकर साहब, लोकसभा के अध्यक्ष को वहाँ भेजा गया था. हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ने उनके मार्फत हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ने अपनी तरफ से जो उनकी चिट्ठी होती है, बधाई की चिट्ठी होती है, और जो हमारी कल्पना है कि इस रिश्ते को हम कैसे आगे ले जाना चाहते हैं, इसके बारे में चिट्ठी भी उनको दिया था. दोनों तरफ से बातचीत चल रही है और जो बांग्लादेश के साथ हमारी एक बहुआयामी रिश्ते हैं, उसको हम कायम ही नहीं बल्कि और मजबूत करना चाहते हैं और आगे की दिशा में ले जाना चाहते हैं. Mega, on your question, I have to say that we are closely following all developments in the ongoing conflict in West Asia. That is how I would refer to or answer your question. On the other question was regarding Abu Dhabi. Yes, we had an unfortunate death yesterday. Our mission is working to send back the mortal remains at the earliest, hopefully soon. On your evacuation, I think there is no reason for any evacuation because you have these hundreds of flights every day which are coming from the Gulf to India and from India going to Gulf. So please have a look at the press statement where we give an update on the commercial flights availability and from which stations these flights are coming into India. So there's no question of evacuation. Srinja, regarding your, again, I would say one thing, that we are closely following all developments in regard to this ongoing conflict in West Asia. Raghavendra, a question regarding imports. We are sourcing fertilizer inputs from various parts of the world, from diverse sources. I'm not sure what is the position as far as a particular country that you mentioned. We had been importing in the past, but whether we are doing it in present or not, I don't have this information. Perhaps the Department of Fertilizer would be in a better position, but just to tell you that we get fertilizer from various parts of the world. Agni, your question regarding the visit of the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh, these are, it will be an important visit, but once these are finalized and we are in a position to, we announce these visits at the appropriate time. So we will surely update you. You will come to know of the visit in good time. That's it. Krishna Mohan.
सर, कृष्ण मोहन शर्मा, भारत एक्सप्रेस से। मेरा सवाल भी स्टेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज से है। जो हमारे वेसल्स को आने की इजाज़त दी गई है सेफ नेविगेशन की, क्या ये फैसला अभी टेम्पररी है या इसको मान लिया जाए कि आगे ऐसी कोई परेशानी नहीं आएगी?
Sir, I'm Abhimanyu Sharma from CNBC TV 18. Sir, are there any reports that India is importing oil and gas from Iran too? And secondly, have any companies approached the government seeking any relief due to force majeure which has been declared in several West Asian countries, which has possibly impacted several Indian companies' operations too?
Kalol.
Kalol from the Hindu, sir. So there is a new prime minister in Nepal who's been sworn into today. So do you expect him to pay the first foreign visit to India?
Manas.
This is Manas from PTI. It appears that BRICS is still in fact deeply divided over the crisis in Middle East. So as BRICS chair, are we just still making efforts to just reconcile the differences and come out with a statement on West Asia crisis?
Double. Siddhant.
Sir, there are reports coming that India is giving energy to its neighbors, especially to Sri Lanka. These countries have requested for energy support. Any more details? Because the Sri Lankan media at least is saying something.
Prakash.
सर, ब्रह्म प्रकाश जीनू से। सर, मेरा सवाल है कि पाकिस्तान की परमाणु क्षमता को लेकर इजराइल के पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री भी कह चुके हैं कि अगला ईरान के बाद अगला जो है वो पाकिस्तान को लेकर टारगेट होना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो एक बड़ा खतरा है। यूएस की सीनेट में भी तुलसी गवार्ड ने भी बयान दिया कि वहाँ की मिसाइल और परमाणु क्षमता अमेरिका के लिए बड़ा खतरा है। तो इसको लेकर सवाल मेरा ये है कि पाकिस्तान के पूर्व राजनयिक जो अब्दुल बासित, उन्होंने बयान दिया इंडिया को लेकर कि अगर यूएस और इजराइल पाकिस्तान पर हमला करते हैं तो हम मुंबई और दिल्ली को निशाना बनाएंगे। इसको क्या भारत सरकार ने गंभीरता से लिया है? क्या कमेंट है आपका? थैंक यू।
कृष्ण मोहन, पहला सवाल आपका था स्ट्रेट हॉर्मुज को लेके। जैसा कि हम लोग ने बताया कि हमारे जो जहाज़ है वहाँ 24 थे, 4 आ गए, 20 और हैं वहाँ, और इन जहाज़ का वहाँ से सुरक्षित ढंग से स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज से निकलने के लिए हम वहाँ पर जो देश हैं उन सबसे बात कर रहे हैं। तो यही स्थिति है अभी। केस बाय केस पहले जैसे बताया था उस प्रकार से बातचीत चल रही है। अभिमन्यु, I don't have details about specific countries what we are procuring from A or B country or C country. I've given you our broad approach to energy security, and that is where we are. Kalol, a question to the Prime Minister of Nepal. He was sworn in today. We had a question who attended from our side. The ambassador was invited, so he attended the swearing-in function, which happened this afternoon. Post the swearing-in function, our Prime Minister also conveyed his congratulations to Prime Minister of Nepal, His Excellency Balint Shah. And he conveyed that India very much looks forward to working with him to strengthen India-Nepal ties and to take these very special ties to even greater heights. As far as invitation or when he'll come, these are things that will be worked out in subsequent days and months ahead through diplomatic channels, as is the normal procedure. Manas, you had a question on BRICS. We are the chair of BRICS. We have ongoing conversation with BRICS members on the ongoing conflict in West Asia. As you're aware, some of the BRICS members are also involved directly in the conflict. We have a particular way of working. This is the BRICS way of working, which is based on consensus. And for that reason, because we have differing opinion, it has been difficult for us to forge a particular consensus on this particular conflict. Siddhant, we have received requests from several of our neighbors, and we are working on them and presently supplying their needs or whatever energy requirements they have to them, while keeping in mind our own energy requirements, our availability and our refining capacity. ब्रह्म प्रकाश, मैं आपके सवाल के बारे में ज़्यादा नहीं करना चाहता हूँ, लेकिन दुनिया जानती है और हम लोग जानते हैं कि पाकिस्तान का परमाणु शस्त्र जो है किस प्रकार का खतरा पूरी दुनिया के लिए पैदा करता है. With that, let's come to the close. Thank you very much.
ഹലോ ശരിക്കും അതെ ഇത് വിൽക്കുന്നില്ല.
ചേട്ടൻ എന്താ ഈ പറയുന്നേ? ഈ മാല വിൽക്കാതെ ഇങ്ങനെ നമ്മുടെ കാര്യം നടക്കും?
ഓരോ കുടുംബത്തിനും 25 ലക്ഷം രൂപ വരെ ഉമ്മൻചാണ്ടി സൗജന്യ ആരോഗ്യ ഇൻഷുറൻസ് പരിരക്ഷ. ഇത് UDFന്റെ ഇന്ദിരാ ഗ്യാരണ്ടി. കേരളം ജയിക്കും, UDF നയിക്കും.
Switching to Zuhu projects, our customers say it's a breeze.
Namaskar. Welcome to the Gunner side. We have with us General Shankar and General Iyer. Let's welcome the two generals. Namaskar, sir. How are you?
Namaskar and thank you.
And viewers, if you observe closely, you will see the Sengol adorning their mantelpieces also. Get your own, and we'll just start getting rolling here. Sir, we will start with General Shankar. He just rejoined again. General Shankar, we talked about this, but since the time we decided on the topic, a few things have changed in the sense that US has declared a 5-day ceasefire. US claims that talks are on, but Iran is officially now claiming there are no talks. So this happens. This is not something new. Always, nobody wants to accept that ceasefire talks are on until. So this happens. This is not something new.
Yeah, I completely agree
over
with
to you,
you.
sir.
Yeah, I just heard Mr. Trump also saying that, look, they're in touch with someone very respected in the country. He's not the supreme leader, and there are talks initiated. And even I think CNN or someone has put out that they've discussed with Steve Witkoff and Kushner, and there's going to be a 5-day gap before anything restarts or anything like that. So there's some break. Well, the stock exchange has gone up, so that gives you a inside story going on. It can't be complete. And look, when the president of USA says so, we should believe it. But if you look at it from the military point of view, in Iran, they've said no. But now they're saying no, we are not in direct talks. They're not denying indirect talks. Okay, that indicates a little bit of dissonance within Iran. But I think they've come to some understanding that we have to come to a closure because there's a lot of international pressure on them. Okay, that's that. So, what the talks are all about, how will it happen, what are the conditions and everything, we'll come to know. Now, I like to put across few things which are important. How have this come across? I mean, the way I look at it, I think yesterday night. Yesterday night, last night, whichever way, I think there was some very serious bombardment which took place of Iranian ammunition. A couple of their naval ammunition depots have been blown up. And I think one of their missile sites, which had a lot of those underground stuff, has been blown up. I mean, I can't make it out. There's no confirmed news about it. But from what it came in this thing that there's secondary explosions. Those videos suggest to you that Iran has lost a lot of their ammunition yesterday in the past 24 hours. And I think the US forces were talking of it. And then, of course, the CENTCOM commander, he's Brad Cooper. He's issued out a cold warning about 5-6 hours back, maybe a little more back, saying, look, we would tell everyone, stay at home, don't get out till you get a signal. Okay. After that, a lot of things have unwound. Okay, you can say Trump is a guy who'll blab, who'll lie, all that. Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are those people who operate in shadows. Now here comes Admiral Brad Cooper and says just about 2 lines. He said, okay, watch out, stay at your home, don't get out, don't go by any other talk that everything is good and all, and don't come out till you get a signal and you'll get a clear signal. Oh, that's very cold. And probably, we don't know, a combination of all this has brought Iran to talks. Now, yeah, we can discuss what will the talks be, all that, and where should it go, X, Y, Z. Right? And we also need to understand there's a whole lot of international pressure. There's pressure from India. Our Prime Minister has spoken to Pezeshkian and said, oh, fine, we'll do everything, but stop this thing on the Hormuz. Right? And our Prime Minister has spoken to almost everyone in the Gulf, even the French president. And he said, we don't do this. We'll support you for anything, but not this. Shipping. Look, there's a red line. It's a red line which, Iran has crossed. And I just heard someone from Dubai. He's come on a foreign channel and he's come on a channel with Barkadat also. And he's as much as said, Iran is public enemy number 1 today for all Gulf nations, all the 6 nations there. Okay, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and of course Oman. Now that's not the best political ending which Iran sought. Iran has to survive now hereafter to fight another day. But whom will it fight? Will it fight others or this? I think Iran has painted itself into a corner politically, which I've been saying ever since, right? It fought a great battle, but I think there is some realization within. Think we can see what's going to happen further. We can discuss. With this, back to you.
Thank you so much, sir. General Iyer, we haven't had your inputs on Iran since I think couple of weeks time. So, sir, you can weigh in on the current situation and how you see this thing play out. Over to you.
So, thank you very much. Great to be back on Gunner site once again. The larger point is, what is the endurance levels? When you compare this with the Russo-Ukrainian war, where there are boots on ground. And once you have boots on ground, then there is no stopping. There is no off-ramp there. And this possibly this week, as I see, is possibly the last opportunity to prevent that kind of a eventuality. Because if you get onto a conflict which is hands-on, whether the Americans finally decide to bite the bullet or they continue in this current phase of things, these are matters which are best left for things to open up, because these kind of speculations are very difficult to predict. Like I said the last time we were discussing this, you need a force which is coherent and capable enough to carry out the end, whatever mission you have identified for yourself. And it takes time to build up that kind of a force. And apparently when this so-called operation was undertaken, Epic Fury or whatever they're calling it, that kind of a build-up has not been kept in mind. They were looking at a quick in and quick out kind of a mission. Primarily, as I said last time also, it is to by and large ensure that the leadership is taken out, and possibly they expected that with this kind of event they'll be able to change the regime to their call, which didn't happen. and they are also stuck. They didn't expect Iran to fight the way they fought. So there is a kind of a stalemate as it stands today. So this week, as I look at it, is very important. I am not too sure what happened in the last 48 hours when there were two conflicting outputs which came out from the US side. The first one said that, we have done what we have done. Hormuz is not our problem. Jisko karna hai, he can come and sort it out. We are getting out. And within 24 hours, he issues another ultimatum. He says, open Hormuz or we'll go, flat out. Flat out with what? They have already used the mother of all bombs ordinance on Iran. So the ultimate end of your kind of ordinance which they could have used, they have already used. It takes a large amount of logistics to carry out extensive bombings, which he is threatening. I don't know whether he has the kind of capability available with him right now. It's not that he doesn't have the capability. It takes time to build up that kind of capability also. So whether he has that kind of capability and whether his ally Israel is as potent as it was 3 weeks ago, these are questions to be understood by only people who know reality on ground. And it's difficult for us to speculate. And therefore, yesterday's or rather today's tweet, which came out saying that, he's put this so-called huge amount of punishment on hold because there is suddenly there is, he says there have been interaction with Iran at various levels, which all this while Iran has been saying it is not happening. So there is a lot of gaps in the way communication is coming around in this current conflict. And maybe it's that, break between two rounds of, boxing, if I say, if I put a comparison where both the opponents who are now not as enduring as they were in the start of the bout are trying to get their breath together. They are trying to plan the strategies together. It could be a strategic pause. It could be time to make those build-ups which are required to carry out that kind of a mission. I also agree with General Shankar that some kind of big losses must have happened in Iran. That's why Iran has not totally rejected the thought. Now comes the bigger problem, how much each side is going to yield. If you stick by your own standing and say that I will go back, whatever situation is currently on, I don't think there is going to be a deal here. So there has to be a little give and take, which means that MAGA is not going to get that victory bugle which he is expected 3 weeks back. So they will possibly go back with a kind of a deal which is not so rosy as one was expecting. Will Hormuz open immediately? I don't think so. There is going to be a period of time before everybody comes together. And there may not be a conflict going around for maybe a week, 10 days, but the situation in the Gulf is going to stay tense. So it's, I guess, too early to celebrate. It is time for us to start looking into what can happen and how bad things can happen. And the funniest thing is so far, China is keeping quiet. I am yet to see China giving a positive stroke to this current development. Even Russia has not shown its hand so far. So these are two players which are, in my mind, very closely involved with Iran right now. Because if Iran has survived for 3 weeks, it is not on its own. It has got a huge amount of support, both from Russia and China. It's very evident. And I think the US has also learned it. And they will also be very cautious before they get into a deal without having a larger support base. To that extent, I feel things are, since 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock Indian Standard Time today when this tweet occurred and when suddenly things started changing. Otherwise, all of us were waiting for 7 a.m. Eastern Time. It was sometime later in midnight today to see how things flow out from there. So maybe let's look at the Friday of this week when things may become a little clearer. And I feel backstage negotiation, like General Shankar said, leaders like Prime Minister Modi, and it is very, again, incidental that Prime Minister Modi chose to speak to the Parliament today. Possibly that has also sent a message across. So these are some indicators to say that things are changing, but how fast, how quick, how robust, these are only time will tell, as I say. Look forward for next 2 days to see how things move on.
ഒന്നുകിൽ UDF അല്ലെങ്കിൽ LDF ഒത്തുകളി ഭരണം കാരണം നമുക്കെന്ത് കിട്ടി? പൊള്ളുന്ന മരുന്ന് വില, പനിക്ക് ചികിത്സ വിരൽ മുറിക്കില്ല, ജീവനോടെ തിരിച്ചു വരണമെങ്കിൽ വല്ല വഴിപാട് നടത്തണം. ഓ, നിങ്ങൾ കരുതുന്നത് പോലെ അടിച്ചമർത്താൻ കഴിയുന്നതല്ല ഈ ജനരോഷം. ഇതിനൊരു അവസാനം വേണം.
From getting your domain to creating your website, email and online security, we've got you covered. You don't need to be a tech expert. You just need a starting point. Your brand starts here with GoDaddy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And viewers, if you really want to know up to date, sometimes it will be off because that's also being realized and being used to put disinformation. Twitter platform has latest stuff, and the not so normal stuff is on Telegram. Pick your poison, whichever one you want to. But there's a lot of stuff happening. So this is information I've got from various sources over the past 72 to 96 hours. 2 aircraft carriers, Gerald Ford and Lincoln, appears to have taken some hits. And Gerald Ford especially, there's more truth there. Part of it went on fire and some of the toilets got clogged. It could be some other thing also beyond, Iran taking pot shot. I just want to make sure that people understand we're not running away with one side of the narrative. There is also some other things. There are also other things happening, and it is believed that both of them are strategically retreating, at least for now. Be that as it may, it could also be a sign that, look, we are also meaning that we want to hold this ceasefire and so on and so forth. General Shankar, we are trying to get one direct statement from Trump to play out. But while we wait on that one, we are checking that out. Your comments on what was spoken in Parliament today, sir?
Look, our Prime Minister was very clear. He says, look, there's a huge disruption which is happening. And we don't like it. This is going to hurt us for a long time. It's not that so far, even if this war ends, the effect of this whole story is going to take a long time. But he also said, look, we are quite stable. All our bases are covered, but we have a problem. We're going to have a problem. Okay. And many things are going to get hit, but other countries are in a worse state. That's what I could get an overall sense. One of the things which I got, the body language of our Prime Minister, was that he was in very good nick. Okay. When I say